At this point in time, the harem genre is one that has been done to death many times in the medium of anime, where all it takes to sell one is to put in a spineless average high school main male character reflective of the audience watching the show, and hordes of girls of various types to fulfill every dude's dreams. And when the general population of the anime community are shut-in virgins without the balls to talk to real life 3D girls, it really tells anime studios what shows will send in the bucket of money. So we have Studio Shaft and Akiyuki Shinbo, the same guys who brought us Madoka in the Monogatari franchise, producing Nisekoi, a high school romantic comedy anime. When watching Nisekoi, it's important to set relatively low expectations because this is not going to be the next Madoka hit or Oscar-worthy content. Nope. Nisekoi is your average story harem anime. However, there is still some light of hope for this show as it is left in charge of Studio Shaft. Basically the only director in the studio, Akiyuki Shinbo has been known and sometimes infamously for stretching the boundaries of the source material and as well as incorporating artsy and avant-garde elements into his adaptations, which has come to make Shaft for what it's known for: the quirky camera angling, the head tilts, and the surrealism. And so Nisekoi's biggest draw is undoubtedly its charm and cuteness. The show accomplishes this with its fantastic aesthetics. You will get the typical head tilts, bizarre camera angling, and a degree of surrealism, though these elements are more tamed in comparison to the other shows Shaft has done. Nisekoi rarely becomes dull thanks to the small details that are emphasized throughout in its styling. These nuances add charm and also prevent every episode from being boring to look at. The sound also really does some justice and increases the charm and cuteness that Nisekoi waves at the audience. The openings and endings are great to listen to, with both openings sung by Claris and the endings by the voice actresses in the show. Voice actress Hanazo Akana blends in the right mixture of innocence and shyness into Onodera's voice as a timid girl, further amplifying the adorable moments when Onodera is on screen. Though a majority of the soundtrack simply camouflages in the show, there are a few standalone songs, including orchestral pieces that are played during cute moments that serve to heighten the mood. Unfortunately, Nisekoi does not receive the same praise when it comes to story and character. The story goes something like this. There are two children who make a promise with each other to meet again with their mementos, which involves a key unlocking a locket, and then getting married afterwards. Jump 10 years later, we have Raku, your typical average high school male character. He has a crush on Onodera, but one day, another girl by the name of Chitoge comes into Raku's life. They hate each other's guts at first encounter, but on a sudden day, their families, who are yakuzas that are fighting each other, force both Raku and Chitoge into being lovers, hence the name of the show, Nisekoi, which literally translates into fake love. The story is as generic as it sounds, playing on almost every cliché in the book, ranging from childhood friends to the fated encounter, to the downright absurd misunderstandings, and to the fan service episodes as well, which compromise of the mandatory beach and hot spring episodes. The show adds in cheap plot devices to play certain characters in certain situations, or to allow for a few twists to happen here and there. A majority of the episodes are filler-esque, where characters go through a generic day, whether it is your fan service episodes or your date with the girl episode. At least, though, the show does try to supplement a plot. Most of the plot revolves around the locket and the key. Throughout the series, elements of suspense and mystery are incorporated to keep the viewers guessing which girl has the key. Characters are just as typical as the story. There's the dense main male harem character, though at least not spineless, the tsundere who is not so in love with the main character, the shy goody two-shoe girl, and the perverted best friend, therefore comic relief as if there already wasn't enough comedy. Every character in Nisekoi is an archetype that is present in your typical harem anime. There are literally no characters that have any sign of originality. The show lacks depth, and all the character building is just surface level. Nisekoi never delves deep into the characters' motivations and goals, and as a result, it's difficult to form a connection and bond with the characters. All we get is Goody Two-Shoe Girl loves main character because he is helpful but can never confess to him because she is just too shy. Tsundere Girl hates the main character but also has an attraction to him, however, she just can't seem to tell her feelings to him because she is a tsundere. The interactions between characters simply serve to establish the characters as the tropes that they were assigned to. Now at this point in the review, I'm sure most of you guys are turned off from watching Nisekoi, but I beg to differ. Fans of the harem genre are unquestionably going to love the show, but as an anime fan who isn't that big on the harem genre, I actually enjoyed the show. Yes, it's cliched as balls, characters are unoriginal and shallow, stories predictable. However, I had lots of fun watching Nisekoi. The show doesn't hide what it is and does what it says on the board. Generic harem high school romantic comedy. I mentioned earlier in my review that the sound, art, and animation play a big role into adding charm and cuteness, and it is, without doubt, the greatest pull into the show. Nisekoi uses the blush, the sweet scenes, and an amazing cast of voice actresses that amplify the overall cuteness of the show itself so well that I constantly caught myself chuckling and fanboying at the adorable moments reminiscent of my viewing experience of K-On!, which features cute girls doing cute things, aka moe. This is an unoriginal anime, reusing all of the cliches out there through and through. It checks everything in the books and makes no attempt to disguise itself as an anime that has absolutely nothing new to offer. The show, however, is incredibly charming and cute, which really compensates for the overall triteness of the show. At the end of the day, Nisekoi is a fun anime to watch for both the harem fans and even action lovers wanting a room of fresh air from the guns and swords clashing at each other. But if you're not the type of person who surrenders to the charm, cute, adorable puppies and kitties, Nisekoi just might not be your cup of tea. Here are the scores rewarded in the subcategories, giving Nisekoi an overall score of a 7 out of 10. If you're looking for anime shows similar to Nisekoi, I recommend Love Hina. It has the same concept with childhood promises and a main male character in a harem, though Love Hina is more focused on the harem aspect. Toradora is another recommendation in the sense that it gives off a similar high school romantic comedy feel that Nisekoi gives off, though Toradora goes far beyond Nisekoi in character development and depth.